Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Star Wars Dark Side event figure preview video. Before we begin, I want to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these gorgeous high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, because without him, this series literally would not be possible. Now, if you are looking to grab your very own copy of Darth Revan, I have popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've also included the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Star Wars Dark Side figure preview video goes live on the channel. Now, Starkiller was a surprise, but this guy, I think a lot of us saw coming. Darth Revan is insanely popular, and that's pretty interesting because he hasn't really appeared in that much stuff. He doesn't have his own comic series, he appeared in a couple of books, but most notably the Knights of the Old Republic games. The first one came out in 2003, so I was a little bit young to play those games. I do know a bit about Darth Revan, but not a ton. What I do know is he looks like an absolute badass, and he does come with two USB-powered sabers. A lot of people gave me crap in the Starkiller video in the comment section saying, well, Justin, in The Force Unleashed, he only had one saber. Yeah, I know, I've played that game, but Hot Toys includes two lightsabers. So if you're giving us two non-LED sabers, you also need to give us two LED sabers. It just makes sense. Otherwise, don't give us two non-LED sabers. Anyway, suffice it to say, not an issue for Revan. He comes with two LED-powered sabers and two different versions of each of the blades. You get one swooshing one for the purple side, one swooshing one for the red side, and just two normal blades as well. Oh, and the texture on those gloves looks insane. That might be some of the finest fabric texture sculpt work that I've ever seen from them. I am curious to know where these little cables plug into on Revan. He does have a cloak on that was made by the Starforge, so we could potentially just have the cables tucked behind the cloak and then the junction box connected to his belt. Unlike Starkiller, who doesn't have a cape/cloak on. We'll just have to wait and see when this guy releases. I do think they could have done a bit better with the bases though. Maybe some game-specific artwork would have been a nice touch. The metal grate flooring base is simple enough that it's not going to stand out in the wrong way. It's going to blend in, and it's not going to catch the eye, which is also a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's a catch-22. It's not exciting, but it's not an eyesore at the same time. Now his boots, fully sculpted, no pleather. And they're a split-cut boot design. He's in a wide stance, yet his feet are still nice and planted on the display base. So his outer cloak is wired, you can see that hemmed edge and how it's just billowing off in the wind, whereas the robes and the red section down the middle, I can't confidently say that that is wired. I'm hoping it is, because for dynamic posing that's going to be brilliant. If it isn't, and it just drapes naturally, I'm perfectly fine with that. The costume design on Revan has always been one of the most visually interesting Star Wars outfits that I've ever seen for a Sith character, who was previously a Jedi, then he was Sith, and then he was a Jedi again, and his story goes on from there. Seriously, if you have not heard of Darth Revan, but you just think he looks cool, do yourself a favor and go and do some research, because this guy's backstory is genuinely quite intriguing. So he's got all these straps and buckles on his chest armor, and those straps are not made of pleather. Thank goodness, they're showing us that they can sculpt plastic, that rubbery stuff, to make it look like pleather. It's got some curvature to it, there's some wrinkling and some creasing and some texture and some rivets painted on, but it doesn't actually need to be material. This way, it's going to be more durable, and it's going to look the part at the same time. So it's literally the best of both worlds. No need for pleather hot toys when you have shown us time and time again that you're capable of sculpting plastic to make it look maybe even better than pleather. So he does have a full fabric shirt on, it's quite baggy, and that's going to be perfect for posing. This is a figure that you are going to be able to leave in a dynamic pose. Darth Vader, you can't do that. Luke Skywalker, even because of his pleather boots, you can't really do that. You can work around it, but the ankles are a big part of getting him in a wide dynamic stance, and you're probably not going to want to put pressure on the pleather boots. This guy, sculpted plastic, all full fabric, and a wired cloak. Just for the posing potential alone, I think this guy might be worth it. So he does have a split cut design with the gauntlet and the hand, and the armor plating with the subtle scratching in the pitting, and the metallic sheen to it, does look like it's made of metal. It isn't, it's all sculpted and painted plastic, but Hot Toys are the masters of sculpting and painting plastic to make it look like it could be die cast. So the cloak, like I've already said, is wired, but the question is, in how many places is it wired? Definitely on the outside, but I can spot some spines there that may contain wires as well. I'm hoping this guy doesn't take too long to release. I'm thinking somewhere around 12 to 18 months. Sometimes Hot Toys do take a bit longer, it just depends on how many of these guys people order. So then we get to the head sculpt, or should I say the helmet sculpt. For those of you who don't know, this is a fallen Mandalorian's helmet. Darth Revan, or at the time Revan, put on this helmet when he vowed to destroy all Mandalorians. And he didn't take it off, so that's why he's wearing it. I think this is a beautiful looking helmet. The sculpt work is sharp, it comes down to a point for the chin, so it's quite elongated, and he's got the slim little visor up top. Not to mention the bright, vibrant red. This guy is going to pop in the display. He's got the copper-colored armor, the red and silver helmet, the flowing robes with the red tassel down the middle, and he's got the purple and red lightsabers. I don't know what else to say, really. Even if you know nothing about Knights of the Old Republic, I reckon at one point or another you have come across something Revan related, because like I said earlier, even though he doesn't appear in a ton of Star Wars media, that, it turns out, doesn't matter, because there is plenty of merch out there that's Revan related, including lightsabers, figures, you name it. This guy is an instant cop for me, and what this figure and Starkiller mean for Star Wars and Hot Toys has me really excited, because are we potentially going to get a Darth Malak? Are we maybe finally going to get a Cal Kestis? Who knows, but if these figures sell well, they will 100% pave the way for more Star Wars video game releases. There is such a rich history of Star Wars games that I am so ready for it, and I think a lot of collectors are as well. Now, I have popped a link to Pop Collectibles in the description below if you are interested in picking this guy up on pre-order. As always, do your own research, make sure you're comfortable before buying. I've also included the discount code Justin's Collection for 5% off your order if you do decide to buy from them. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.